Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Gundam Builders NYC. This is our 8th episode. Unfortunately, my partner will not be here today. He's actually stuck at work, unfortunately. We're running a little late today, so it might be a short episode, depending on how much information I can get out to you guys. So, our information today was supposed to be talking about video games ever since E3, because that was the big hype. You know, Gundam versus, things like that. So we're still hyped up about E3. We're still excited. We're still amped up. So we wanted to bring the classic video games into the present and ask you, what was your top five favorite robot or mech games from back in the days to present? My top five has to be Omega Boost, Techromancer, Mega Man X, Robotech Battlecry, and this is the present one. Even though I'm a big Transformers fan, like these two were my favorites, but this one kind of stole my heart, stole the heart with number 5, which is Gundam Builder 3, because you got to customize and design your characters the way you wanted to. So I was talking to somebody and they were like, well, why don't it's mech or robot. It's the same thing, people. If it's a robot, it's a mech. That's part of the robotic world. I mean, you can't really enter Dr. Robotnik, but you know, we'll work our way around that. But even from back in the days, even Nintendo had some great games. Super Nintendo had some awesome games. There was this one called Mech Warrior. You know, that was another hot game that was amazing from back then. You know, we had PC games that had massive mech games, Armored Core, all those great games like that. So, unfortunately, I don't have the space or the time to go through each and every one of them, but I'll do my best. Again, this is supposed to be a two-person thing, but my partner got caught up with work, and you know, again, people, we work outside of here. This is us trying to help you guys, trying to bring the community together. We were supposed to have a young lady who was supposed to be interviewed today, but since she knows Chris, I have no control over that. So, going through the games, I'm actually going to go from one set to the other. Like, off the bat, even Super Famicom had some great games. Like, you had a lot of games that came out. Like, you had Gundam games, you had Gundam Fighter games, things like that. But I personally liked the F91 one because it was kind of like Ace Combat, where you had to, like, it was a chessboard. You moved this way, they moved this way, and if you met in the middle, you had to, like, get them in your sights, and you had to do your lightsaber or like a beam saber, which was pretty hot. I mean, even from back in the days, the graphics was pretty cool. And now that I have a Retron 5, which like shows on HD across my TV, which is absolutely phenomenal. But we're gonna continue on, and there was throughout the series, throughout the whole gaming world, like you had Genesis, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, all these other systems just meshed together. Okay? But they had some amazing games, especially Dreamcast. Dreamcast was one of the more underrated systems because it was an arcade system. So Marvel vs. Capcom, SNK vs. Capcom, King of Fighters, all those games that were amazing came out amazingly on the Dreamcast. Problem was that everybody found the code and started burning the games, so it kind of killed the system. Thanks, guys. So, one of my all-time favorites from back in the days will always, forever be Mega Man. Even though a lot of people are really pissed with Inafune because over what he did with Mighty Number 9 and the whole Capcom thing, I still love you, dude. You know, but Mega Man was so ahead of its time back in the days, it actually made you think. it made you process the thought of what you wanted to do, because other games were just so linear and just you got to go this way or you got to do this. This one, Mega Man 1 in particular, was the one that you had to actually figure out where you wanted to go. There was no specific pattern. You picked your own pattern. If you wanted to start from Gutsman, you can start from Gutsman. If you want to start from Cutman, start from Cutman. Vice versa. There's a YouTube channel called Sequelitis, which is funny as hell. Dude is hilarious. Dude had me crying like anime tears just coming down my face when he did the comparison between Mega Man and Mega Man X. All 8 games are on this one. This is a classic. Like these two are my babies. These two are my classics right here because I have the bulk collections for PlayStation 2. But this one actually has all 8, like 1 through 8, and they actually re-released them now because it's called the Mega Man Legacy Editions. And now Legacy 2, the only part that Legacy 2 doesn't have versus this one is they have the remake of 9 and 10, which came out for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. And this is the first time they're actually going to be on a disc and not digital. So, of course, I have to get them. But, just like everything else, things have to progress. Mega Man had to go, and we had to get a new Mega Man, which was Mega Man X. Oh boy, it's Mega Man! So, Mega Man X actually was a funny story because Zero was supposed to be the main protagonist, which I'm kind of glad that later on they actually fixed it and they made Zero his own series, because in the Mega Man Zero series, X was an asshole. Like, just pointing out that way. He was OD just. If you jaywalked, he would cut your head off. If you were a Reploid, if you were a robot, he would kill you because he wanted separated from the human race. This was one of the best things I bought because I went through this game this is actually my 3rd copy because I broke the other 2 copies. That's how many times I played it. You're not gonna find this anywhere. This is a classic right here. But I have each version also. I have every Mega Man series from American and Japanese, like Rockman and Mega Man. Mega Man Zero, Legend, even the Battle Networks. When Battle Networks first came out, it was so ahead of its time because it made Mega Man into an RPG, which was the first time we ever seen that type of thing, which was pretty cool. And we love you for it until you came out with Star Force or Star Gladiator or whatever that thing was, and that's where you guys kind of went. So, again, going down through the line, again, y'all know that I'm a big Transformer fan, so I had to get the Transformer series. I have most of the Transformer games at home, like even from Nintendo all the way up to present. I haven't even had the Atari one. But one of the better ones, one of the better series that we had was the War on Cybertron and the Fall of Cybertron, because it explained Cybertron before they came to Earth, before 1984, and the hotness of these 2 games was the fact that you got to choose between Autobot and Decepticon, and you got to different storylines and different perspectives on that. Downfall, it was kind of like Halo-ish, like it was very Halo, but I love the transformations. The transformations was clean. The weapons made sense. It wasn't just like, oh look, I'm shooting a cannon. Why? It made sense. It actually focused in on more of the character design than just the game. And me personally, I would rather have crappy graphics with a better storyline than amazing graphics with a crappy storyline. That's me personally. Like, all these games coming out nowadays they're beautiful, but where's the essence? Where's the oomph for them? We're gonna skip over to this one, which was one of the gifts that actually my ex gave me. And even though this is Bayformers, and if you saw the new one, I'm really sorry, the new movie, but this is one of the Bayformers games. It wasn't that bad. It was not that bad, people. The transformation was clean. It actually stuck to the storyline, especially the Bobby Bolivia section with Bernie Mac, where you at? So they were, I miss that dude, but they really did a good job with this one. This is actually one of the better things that my ex gave me besides my daughter. So, thanks. Then we're gonna skip over a little bit because I'm gonna do all the Gundams together, and we're gonna talk about everything else. But one of my top 5 favorites, which was the Gundam, not even Gundam, Robotech or Macross, whichever one if you watch the Japanese one or the American one, Robotech and Macross, the Battle Cry series. This was as close as you're gonna get to the cartoon, to the anime. They had the transformations, they had the villains, they had the weapons, they had the mechs, they had the jets. Everything was here that you could ever ask for, and it was sexy. Even from back in the days, the graphics was sexy, and we need this, people. We need to come back with this. Like, y'all need to learn. You're gonna learn today. Then we had Zone of Enders. Zone of Enders I actually came into pretty late because my friend got me into it. Thanks, Elvin. He got me into this while he was into the series. I got into it late, and as soon as I did, it was kismet. I was done. I had to get the whole series. I'm surprised I don't have a tattoo on my guru. That's how much this series was actually amazing. If they ever came out with an HD collection of this, I'd be the first one to buy it because the storyline was amazing. The mechs was hot. The bosses were insane. Like, absolutely insane. There was another game called, as I said, my top 5 was Omega Boost. There was another game that came out for PlayStation that was kind of under the radar, which was Einhander. If you ever have a chance to look up that one, it was done by Square Enix. Pretty great. It was amazing. The graphic, it was like R-Type, but with a little robot that changed back and forth. Now, we're going to get into Gundam, but before that, I just want to apologize for Unafune's mistake. Unafune started a Kickstarter when he got fired from Capcom, and I was one of the few people who gave him money. Nobody got what they wanted, even though it was a Mega Man game, and I do appreciate it, but nobody got what they wanted. I wanted to see an animation. I wanted to see full-blown things, but he came out with Mighty Number 9. Everybody hates this game. I'm one of the few people who actually enjoy this game. It is a straight Mega Man game, but it needed more oomph to it. There was not that much backing on it, and Inafune, you kind of disappointed me with this one because with all the money that you got within hours of Kickstarter, you should have had like a full-out animation. There should have been more to this than what you actually gave us. I mean, we appreciate it, but come on, dude. Now, we're going to go to the Gundam games. If you've never played it, try them out. The Gundam Destiny Warriors Gundam series was actually pretty fun, even though it was a hack and slash and it was just like a whole bunch of enemies coming at you. I have all 3 of them, even though you only see me pulling up 2. I couldn't find the boxes for the other one. I have all 3 of them. But this one was actually one of my favorite ones because this is when you had Freedom and Strike Freedom in it. And it was a fun series to play with. Do I enjoy it? Absolutely. Wouldn't you enjoy it? I will give it about an 8 that you will actually enjoy this game. Graphically, off the charts. Especially when you play with like Wing Zero and you're like just obliterating like the whole like wing of people. Lastly, out of the video games, this one before we have Gundam Versus, this was the game that came out right before it. Which, if you've never heard of this game, you guys really need to. It's called Gundam Breaker 3. There was other ones, and matter of fact, they all connect. If you have the other ones, your file will actually pass on to this one. The hotness about this game is that you customize the Gundam the way you want to. You break parts, you go through it. It's not Destiny Warrior where it's like thousands of enemies in front of you. It's about like maybe about 20 people or like specific bosses, and the more pieces you pull off and like the special armors you get, the more and more you enhance. And the graphics is amazing. Even from the scene where you leave the cockpit, it's Gundam Builders. It's the build fighters. That's what this is. That's you build it, you put it together. It actually shows you different kits in the thing. Like, oh look, this is the kit from Double Zero, or this is the kit from Iron Blood. But this was a fun game to play with. It was fucking amazing. I know Susan cares, damn that, but it was amazing. This is definitely. I spent a lot of hours on this game, guys. You guys really need to pick this up, or at least look at the video. Alright, so we're back, and we're talking about the new Gundam of the week. Unfortunately, these are Gundams that I've pretty much already shown you guys, but I haven't been able to build any recently because I've been really busy at work. Just like my coworker, my co-host, Chris, he's actually stuck at work right now. Unfortunately, we won't be able to, he won't be here today. He will be here next week, and hopefully his friend will be here with us. So, the Gundam of the week is Savior Gundam, which actually premiered in the Gundam Seed Destiny, which was done by Zafran, which was piloted by Zafran. As you can tell, he's not the actual colors that he's supposed to be, because I did a custom kit where I entered the tournament with Transformers. So when I saw him and I saw the wings that could stand straight up, I looked at it and I was like, oh wow, that's Starscream. It has to be Starscream. So as you see, all the colors are actually designed as Starscream, like red, silver, blue. Even have the D-Sub logos on the wings too, which is kind of fun because I found out. A lot of people don't like this series, like Destiny, Seed Destiny, because they were saying that it was overdone or it was. I like the connection to the both stories because it actually shows the different sides of the military, and the characters are a little different, a little bit more blasé, but the three psychopaths that took the other three Gundams, they were actually weird characters, especially that blonde chick. I had a couple of dates like that. So, but this Savior Gundam actually was one of the ones where he got, and he started going back into the army, which he was reluctant to do. Came back as this wonderful Gundam, and it actually transforms. That was another thing. That's another reason why I picked him, because it transforms into a jet and then back into a robot. I will show you on this side. Haha. I will show you a speed clip of how this transformation will go, but it's actually pretty sick. I like the cannons. He has the cannons on the side. The detailing is actually pretty cool. Like his wings, like this, the two cannons. Even his guns were actually pretty hot. The kit itself wasn't that hard to build. To tell you the truth, I think it took me about a week to build them. That was simply because of overpainting. But overall, this kit was actually pretty fun to build, and I would definitely give beginners and mid-range people props to do this. If you're an advanced gunpla person, you'll definitely have fun with this, and you'll customize it any way you want. And I would suggest putting like stickers on the cannons because it's going to look pretty cool. I didn't put any stickers because, as I said, I'm not a big sticker fan. I had to put the Decepticon logo, Starscream. Has to happen. And if you don't know, Chris Latte, we still miss you. You will always be our captain, our Cobra Commander, and Starscream. It'll only be one because nobody else has done your voice yet. Came close, but not yet. With that said and done, we will be talking about another Gundam next week, and I will definitely bring in another kit. I'm going to try to work on my kits a little bit more and make new ones so I can show you guys. But I really like it. He was pretty cool. I just didn't like the top piece on his head, which just kind of threw me off. But it's alright. He looked pretty cool. He looked cool as it was, and I like him. So we're gonna go into the new toy that came into the hobby shop, which comes from the Legend BB, or well, it looks like SD, the Super Deformed, MK3 Dashi Shogun. This is actually pretty cool. I actually like this one because he looks like he transforms and everything. He has different parts. There's two different forms of him. It's not that bad, to tell you the truth. I'm looking at the pieces. They're actually gold plated. If you ever have a chance, try to pick this up. It looks pretty hot. It reminds me of this old show called Samurai Pizza Cats. Like, they made fun of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they made fun of Ronin Warriors, they made fun of, like, every type of series, anime-wise, like, even Superman, like, oh my god, you're in a different suit, but you're not the same person, like, you know, look, my glasses are off, can you tell who I am? Like, you know. So, that's definitely, reminds me of that, when they used to ring the bell and Speedy used to come up and with a whole new suit. But this is actually pretty cool. I actually like this. There's like flames and detailing on it. It's pretty hot. So, this is our final thoughts for today. We want to know what's your top 5 favorite mech robot games back in the days. Let us know in the comments below, and we'll let you know what's going to happen next week. Again, next week we're actually going to be talking. Hopefully my co-host will definitely be here next week with us, and we'll be able to talk more. And he'll have more, you know, as I said, my apologies. He had half the homework, so, yeah. But we will be talking about the Gunpla tournament of who's going to win this month. We will be talking about that next week. We will be going into a vintage episode, talking about some old stuff and like maybe old video games, maybe old TV shows, maybe even going to movies. I would like to do an episode about movies. It doesn't always have to be about Gundams, but like mech movies or something like that. With that said and done, we're gonna do a contest with our page, with the Gundam page and the YouTube channel, where we're gonna be doing a contest for who's gonna host the show. I am actually going to go away for like a couple of weeks in July, from July 19th to August 12th. I'm going away. I'm going to take my daughter for vacation for her birthday, so I'm not going to be here. But I would love to see one of you guys take my place. Hopefully you guys are local, and that way you can actually co-host the show with Chris while we're here. I would be more than appreciative if you guys can do that for us. That'd be great. But also, we want to thank you all for your audience. Thank you for the time. Thank you for everything that you guys have done. The topics. We're going to actually start showing off more amateur Gunpla people. And because I have a whole bunch of them on YouTube, not YouTube, but on Instagram. And they are amazing. And we're going to start showing off and doing more interviews and more showing off their work and promoting them, because that's what we're trying to do, promote the community. And hopefully we all be able to talk and get our stuff out there and show each other what we got. So this is coming from the Ryu. Remember, we are from the Ryu Young Hobby Shop on 5th Avenue and 60th Street, because this is Brooklyn, New York. What are you gonna do? Huh? We want to thank you all. Thank all the builders for your support. We want to select one member who has purchased a Gundam-related product from otherwise Gundam, Bandai, Mr. Hobby. You may even win a kit from us. If you do enter and you do buy something, let Kevin know that you're entering the contest, and he'll be able to let you know what's the rules and regulations. But it will be from the 29th to the 30th. See what's going on with there. and hopefully you win. Guys, again, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for tuning in for another week. We will be back next week. Much appreciated. Much love. Peace.